All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Fusion for Passion, where we believe everything happens for a reason. This is Rose, and I'm excited to share life's beautiful chaos. From chasing dreams to creating magic out of mess. Whether it's about healing, hustling, or just figuring things out with one cup of tea at a time, you are not alone. So grab that drink, take a breath, and let's dive into a conversation that moves us, shape us, and fire us up. Because here in Fusion for Passion, we believe that what fuels you leads you. Let's go. I thought I was just unlucky with periods until the pain just refused to go away. We are in our episode 2, living with stage 4 endometriosis. And this is my diagnosis story. Let's start with the symptoms I had and since when it started. Ever since I had my period back then, when I was elementary, around grade 5, I always have a heavy bleeding already. And living in Asia, it's just normal. And then I became active when I was in high school. I became a volleyball player the entire high school for 4 years. And then whenever I'm having my period, it's always heavy, but I always do trainings because you've got to admit it. When you love doing something, it's like nothing can stop you, isn't it? So I keep on playing, I keep on doing the normal things, and I was really young before. I did not know things about period or whether should I be more careful or something. So I'm still going on with my life, enjoying high school. And then when I was in the university, that's where I started to have a very painful period. And I just shove it off because whenever I ask my friends, oh, they have it as well, it's normal. Our parents keep on telling us it's just a part of adolescence. And so it became normal. But when I was working, and I think it's the lifestyle as well contributed in it. When I was working in a auditing firm in the Philippines, my lifestyle changed a lot because I have a limited time for myself and to eat for the day. So I always need something quick. So sometimes, or maybe a lot of times, I tend to compromise the balanced diet just to meet the deadline. And then the coffee, Starbucks everywhere, and we all know how much sugar is in there. But it's like it became my water. In a day, I can have the strongest potion that they can have in Starbucks just to keep me awake for an overnighter season. And it became quite obvious going on and on whenever I'm having my period that I have these cramps, headache, ended up having an off every time it's my first day of period. And it's that painful that I can't even focus at work because I was like crunching like that. And I can't even properly. And the only thing that I can do for the entire day is just be in my bed. And a lot of times I will change my pads. That's how heavy bleeding I was having. And then that's where I started to learn to rely on painkillers as well. And because it's painkiller, it tends to knock you out for a few hours. You will feel groggy, sleepy. So yeah, it really affected my life. And I was hospitalized for 2 times already. And because I was working in a corporate, so we have this insurance in a private hospital. Unfortunately, on those 2 instances that I was hospitalized, I was just told that during the first one, it's just your stomach is so acidic, so we'll just prescribe you with this and that. But I was on my period, and then I was just dismissed. They got my blood, they tested it, nothing shows in there. I did not even have a scan. They just said, "You're okay, you're fine, you'll be fine. It's just dysmenorrhea," as they called. And then the second time around, the year following that, I was hospitalized again. And that was almost the end of my period week. I was throwing up. I feel like I have a mild flu, but I was sweating. And I remember I was crying to my mom because no painkiller that is over the counter can help me at all anymore. And she rushed me into the private hospital again. Still, they just dismissed me and said that you're just having dysmenorrhea. I still didn't have any scan back then. No MRI scan, no X-ray, no ultrasound, just blood test, all fine, dismissed. But still, I was in pain, even when they dismissed me. And then I remember they just gave me a powerful painkiller. I don't know if that was codeine or morphine. I can't remember. I arrived here in England, and then I woke up in the morning. I was crying. This was 2023, and it was July. I was crying while he was sleeping, and I was saying, it's so painful. It's so painful. I did not know that I was doing that. It must have been during my sleep. And then he woke me up, and then he said that something's wrong with you. And I just keep on saying to him, no, 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 it's just dysmenorrhea. I'm fine, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It's late at night. I want to go back to sleep. But I can't stop crying in pain. So he decided to bring me to the emergency. And then apparently, I have a cyst that popped out. And that's the reason why I am really in pain. And here comes November 2023. That's where a letter came back to us saying that they tested the cyst that they removed using a laparoscopic surgery, and it tested for endometriosis. The thing is, it's good that it's not cancerous. However, on the other side, it's endometriosis, which before I did not know what is it about. And then everything changed. It's like, I don't know what to do with it. And I was really clueless. So I have a zero knowledge about it. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. But it put me into a position realizing how serious this illness is when the nurse gave me a leaflet saying that there is the NHS link. You can find resources in there about endometriosis, so on and so forth, and feel free to find any support group for endometriosis. And I was like, support group for endometriosis? So that's how serious it is. And that's where my life begins. So because I kept on being dismissed when I was in the Philippines, I became too ignorant in painful symptoms I'm having whenever I have my period. And if it wasn't for my partner, I will not be able to have that first surgery. And as we all know, when a cyst popped out inside your body, whatever it is, whenever something's popped out in there, it can lead straight away to sepsis. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. So he was a lifesaver. And if it wasn't for that surgery, I will not be able to be diagnosed with it. And since then, I have a consultation with the doctor, so on and so forth. I am being asked how to be treated. Apparently, the treatment is not a straightforward one. So they will ask you whether do you want to have a baby. If you want to have a baby, it's a different discussion. If I don't want to have a baby, straight away, hysterectomy. And then I said, of course, I want to have a baby. I want to have a family of my own. And then they gave us a chance to try to conceive naturally first. And then after a year, another emergency happened. I was around London. I was working. I was in a field work in a client's site. And I remember I was really stressed back then. And I have my period during that time. I had flu the day before, and then I ignored it together with an abdominal pain. I ignored it because it became a habit. Whenever I'm having pain related to my period, it's like, oh, it will go away. Yeah, it's okay. I ignored it. And then after that field work, when I was in the hotel, I woke up in the middle of the night. I was crying so bad. It was really painful. It was painful enough wherein I can't speak because whenever I move a little bit, whenever I speak, which means my torso is moving because of the air in and out and the breathing, it's painful. So I was thinking there, I need to call my partner. He was up in Scotland and it was in the middle of the night. I was crying. I can't speak to him properly. He knows there's something wrong. And then what he did was he called the emergency and he was able to arrange an ambulance to pick me up there. And I can't forget the moment I was sleeping naked. And I have no other choice, but I did not have the chance to put any clothes on. Bless those paramedic people who got me from my hotel room because they are very quick in responding. They asked me few questions only, straightforward with yes or no only, and then they were able to assess that my case is critical. And then apparently that instance was another cyst pop out. It has abscess in it, if that's how you call it. So it's very critical back then. And something is infected because it popped in there. And I remember back then, when I was in the hospital, I already told them I have endometriosis. I don't know how it works, but they still try to rule out all the other underlying condition that was contributing to my pain. And then apparently, when they figured out after MRI scan and ultrasound that yes, there's something popped out in there, my blood tests show that I have a high infection. So straight away, on the same day, I was put into the surgery room and I need to have an emergency laparoscopy again. And because their goal only is to remove the cyst or to clean the abscess there. So even if I have severe endometriosis, they did not remove any lesion. They only focus on what I signed for, which I totally understand. And then that's the last emergency surgery that I have. And I just thought after that incident, that's where I started to become serious in being mindful as to how should I deal with my life now? Because apparently, after my first surgery, after my diagnosis, I did not learn from that yet. I keep on shoving off whenever I have pains related to my period. Yeah, it was an eye-opener for me. It took me my second surgery before I took it seriously, which I hope that you'll not follow the same route. So that's it for my second surgery. And then going to the third one, it was a robotic laparoscopy. It's the most advanced type of laparoscopy surgery, and it was a planned one. We were ready. And it's a lot of preparation, I can say, because since December 2024, last year, we were already informed about what they're planning to do on the day of the surgery. During the time that we spoke, I don't have the date for my surgery yet. And it was during March this year, 2025, when they informed us that my schedule will be on June 3rd. Basically, what happened on the day of the surgery, my tubes are severely damaged, wherein it doesn't serve its purpose anymore. And that's the reason why we can't have a baby naturally, because my tubes are not functioning as it intended to. And it has infection in it. And I remember when my surgeon said he doesn't know how I was able to live my life normally, because whenever they see me, I always look like I'm very jolly. But he said that tube looks so nasty, so horrible. And I was already informed before the surgery that there's a tendency they will remove it, because during the MRI scan, my tubes are severely damaged, so causing me a lot of pain, which I was having. Before the surgery, I keep on having an off every period month, because it's like I just can't get out of the bed. Whenever I stand up, I was bent like that. It's too painful if I will straight up my torso. So yeah, that's what happened back then. They cleaned some of the endometrioma there, some of the lesion, but because we want to have a baby first before the total treatment, they considered our choice and they tried to save as much as possible my ovaries and the uterus, which is needed for the IVF as well. So that's it. As of the moment, we are waiting for any updates for the process of the IVF, which hopefully will be in September. I know how difficult everybody's journey about fertility, endometriosis. Everyone has a different pathway because everyone wants different things. And with me personally, I want to try chances of having a family of my own first. If it will not work, hopefully it will. It's not the end of the world. At least we tried. And again, I think there's another reason for that. Like we said, everything happens for a reason. So there's 3 key points that I want to highlight about what I've shared. Getting diagnosis for endometriosis is quite hard. It's a long journey and the system doesn't always listen. There's some progress in the research about endometriosis, but still not enough for the number of patients, and it's getting younger and younger who's being diagnosed with endometriosis. So we need to support each other. And for you guys who's listening, who knows someone who has endometriosis and other women's health problem, please spare them or give them the best encouragement and compassion that you can give. That's the only thing that we need. Also, pain is real, even if it's invisible. Like I said, because people like us who has endometriosis, before the diagnosis, we keep on being dismissed and ignored and gaslighted. It's just for us, it became a habit as well, that whenever we feel pain, we just ignore it. So we might show ourselves to you that we are not in pain, we are happy, we are jolly, we are doing us perfectly fine. We keep on posting this and that. I was having the best time of my life. But behind those cameras, we might be struggling. And majority of us wouldn't want to show it to you. So as for our last key point, advocacy starts with speaking the truth. And as a takeaway, you're not imagining your pain. Keep pushing for answers because your story matters. And if this sounds like your story, DM me or share with someone who needs to feel seen. Until next time, bye-bye.